Everyone, today I am with Nathan, founder of Analytic Index, which I'm a big fan of. As you guys know, I'm always posting the reports and everything else. They have a lot of great Amazon and Walmart data that are very useful to Amazon, Walmart sellers, and just e-commerce in general that are great data points and KPIs to know within Amazon. So Nathan's going to give us a quick intro of him and his company and what he does, and then we'll dive right into it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor, for the invitation and the great opportunity to meet you, and as well the extension of your amazing kind of network of brilliant e-commerce minds. So it's really
Yeah.
fantastic to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
So a little introduction of me, as my background is I've been built in retail. I started my career off at Walmart in Bentonville, Arkansas, in their marketing and merchandising departments. Doing private brands and marketing and advertising and everything else that's incumbent with the world's largest retailer. I'll never forget the fact that we launched a private brand in the fresh department called Market Side, and in year one it was $1 billion behemoth. And so the scale of Walmart is truly unprecedented. From there, I met some of my closest friends and business partners and joined One Click Retail, which was the pioneer in Amazon sales and share measurement, digital shelf insights, and really all things Amazon from kind of that consumer manufacturer view. And we caught a tiger by the tail, and we're working with thousands of the world's largest brands internationally as well as across the U.S. We were acquired by Essential, which is a publicly traded company out of London. And we were rebranded Edge by Essential, along with many other kind of primary technologies in the e-commerce space, including Clavis Technologies Digital Shelf and Brand Use Price and Promo. And then Flywheel Digital was a managed service that they acquired and brought into the whole portfolio of Essential. Loved my time there in that leadership capacity, building and generating results for our clients. I left there after my earnout was done and has kind of been tinkering around until the opportunity that Mike Carlsvin, my co-founder, and I had to launch a new business intelligence platform for e-commerce, which we have named Analytic Index. Analytic Index is fully focused on creating the most comprehensive, actionable, and affordable business intelligence for sales, search, and shelf across the e-commerce landscape. What's really exciting is we have the ambitions already available for Amazon and Walmart, but soon with 30 plus other e-commerce platforms to be able to aggregate it at the total e-commerce view, dive into each individual retailer site, be it Amazon or Walmart or Chewy, and then also be able to compare and contrast so that smart sellers and manufacturers can learn Amazon onto Walmart and Walmart onto Target and Target onto anywhere else. And so that's a little bit of our ambition, Victor.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean that is an ambitious goal, that's for sure. I'm not gonna lie. But that is something that a lot of it's really good to see the big picture of e-commerce, and it's great to go granular. It's good to go what makes platforms different, why are certain channels, because you can't treat them all the same at the same time. Amazon is a very different platform than Walmart. You can't treat them the same. So I really love what you guys are doing, and I love the goals and everything else. And speaking about your reports, I'd love to start diving into one of your big Easter reports, because that's a big topic.
So there's nothing like the relevance of the holidays, and every retailer is built around that holiday calendar. And with Easter right upon us, a week away, e-commerce is one of those that's an early indicator. As logistics and delivery improve day in, day out, we get closer and closer to the real-time nature of e-commerce. But still, the majority of e-commerce as a retailer holiday event happens, up to 3 to 5 days before the event actually happens. And so this is a really good time to analyze the difference of retailer media on Amazon for Easter and for Walmart on Easter. And so let's take a little bit of a compare and contrast. So everything Easter, and you can see how the price points are very similar. While Walmart is considered the everyday low price leader, as you look at Amazon's portfolio, They have a lot more items, and their price point is about 50 cents lower, which is meaningful in this retailer price point universe. The total number of brands, you're looking at 5x Amazon versus Walmart. And a lot of this is driven by the brilliance of Amazon of building a first party and third party marketplace platform, right? And Walmart is a little bit late to the party, but very ambitious in the present to be able to go and grow their marketplace platform. As we've just all recently heard of them introducing the opportunity for foreign parties to be able to participate there. So it'll be interesting to watch this number in the coming weeks and months as Walmart gains some traction. Looking at
You
the
know,
total number of items, once again, you can see the variance there between Amazon and Walmart. And then the keywords is also one of those fundamental ways of being able to view these two different platforms. Anything that pops out at you, Victor, as you're looking at this initial landscape view?
yeah, what really surprises me is that Walmart has a higher average price point. And that's really fascinating to me because Walmart has very strict rules on their average price point of like always maintaining that lowest price. And that's kind of how we see Walmart is like for to capture that lowest price. But my assumption is, and correct me if you have another point of view on this, but it might be because Walmart's infrastructure when it comes to shipping may not be there. So it makes it where you have to sell it at a higher price point to have that shipping fulfillment system in place. Because as we know, Amazon has one of the most efficient building systems when it comes to the capability of shipping products on Amazon. So it makes it where they can ship it for a very cheap cost, but Walmart may not be there, so it may be more expensive at the
No,
same time.
Victor, I think that's why you're one of the smartest guys in e-commerce, being able to pick out like little nuances like that, right?
Mhm.
Clearly, Walmart is moving towards that with their Walmart Plus Prime-esque, service, and that adjusts the way that the number of products and the price point of products that are available within the platform. And so I think that you're absolutely spot on that the decisions Amazon has made over the past decade with logistics and with search and with marketplace and with Prime all have created that type of advantage that now Walmart. It's always bizarre to me that Walmart is the David to the Amazon Goliath now, and how that ever could have turned out that way. When I worked at Walmart, we were the Goliath, and every news outlet and retailer was clamoring for breaking it up. And so it's,
Yeah.
it's fascinating to see how now Walmart has got to reinvent itself. And it's got the building blocks to do so. It's just
Mhm.
whether or not they can change the culture and the mindset to be able to keep up with the innovator that is Amazon.
Yeah, and there's some crazy statistic that 90 like I think it's like 94% of the US population is within 15 minutes of every Walmart in the United States.
Yeah.
And like they definitely have the infrastructure to potentially do it. Like they could use their Walmarts as maybe a fulfillment method or to get like really quick ship times. And we're talking about Walmart, if they wanted to, they could get 1 hour deliveries in and which Amazon can't necessarily do yet. So Walmart has the capabilities since they have so many retail locations. They have the capability to go full out and make a big push when it comes to Walmart versus Amazon. So they have the capability to do it. It's just they have to have all their pieces in place on their site and the traffic behind it, and then they could really go full out with this Walmart Plus program.
I think that you see, like, I've flipped over to now looking at the differences of organic keywords and sponsored keywords. And what you said is spot on. Like, Walmart is really, really good at grocery, right? And that element
Yeah.
of being able to deliver digital grocery is an area that they shine, and that Amazon is, investing tremendous amount of money to be able to close the distance there. But you look at the type of keyword terms that Walmart is really successful right now. They're grocery keyword terms of candy and chocolate and more grocery related items, where Amazon has a stronger kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, Amazon is still ahead of Walmart as it comes to candy and chocolate. I don't want to
Yeah.
misrepresent, but
Yeah.
Amazon is equally aggressively developed across gifts and toys and decor and decorations and many other kind of non-grocery related items that create that holistic shopping experience. But now the question is, like, can Walmart continue to make massive inroads into grocery that is a far more frequent, purchase process than the likes of, the hard lines and the soft lines that are not so repeat and consistent in nature.
And honestly, I think that's Walmart's ultimate advantage over Amazon. It's they can really take off on grocery, which I haven't really seen yet, but I see that since like if almost all their locations are next to almost every single United States citizen within 15 minutes, they could have a full-fledged grocery program and really take off with that. And Amazon can't necessarily do that. They own Whole Foods, but like there's not enough Whole Foods in America for it to go full-fledged, and they might not have the infrastructure behind it that Walmart may have. So it's really interesting how
No, yeah.
Walmart could take that off, and because Amazon's program hasn't taken off, so Walmart could really have a huge advantage over Amazon when it comes to the grocery category.
Well,
You're so
you
right.
look at how they invest then, right? You see
Hmm.
Amazon acquiring more of the brick and mortar mentality of Whole Foods, and then vice
Hmm.
versa, Walmart trying to acquire more of the search and technology capabilities of a TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So both of them are very much have one another in the bullseye. But
Hmm.
then there's many other impressive organizations out there. Of Target had phenomenal growth, over the last year. You've
Yeah.
got some of the major social media platforms of Google and Facebook and
Hmm.
others that are fundamentally focused on how do they get in and make a massive difference within the retail media space. And then you have these upstarts of Shopify and Instacart. And when we look, international, it gets even more dynamic and more impressive as Asia is by far the leader in e-commerce and retail media insights. So it's a really exciting place to be.
Yeah, and what I think is going to happen is one of either Amazon or Walmart, one of these guys are going to take off. Like one of these guys are going to adopt their other strengths, and because Amazon's weakness is like for example this grocery being able to reliably get like groceries and everything else, and either Walmart's going to have amazing shipping, gonna break their weakness and get amazing shipping on all their products. Either that or Amazon's going to dominate grocery, and one's going to collapse when it comes to this particular category. So
Yeah.
I think one is going to really invest a lot in their strengths or in their weaknesses to make it their strength, and then they're going to take it off, and then they're going to have ultimate success in this category because that is where the consumer mindset is shifting. People people want to have that convenience of their groceries and everything else automatically going to their door. Think about it. Uber Eats, all these other things that are constantly happening. The consumer mindset is now being adopted to ordering food through our phone. And
Right.
that's going to happen to grocery really quickly. Within the next 5 years, it's going to be super mainstream.
Yeah,
So
I totally agree with you. I
it's
mean,
going to
my
be,
thought on that, what you say
yeah,
is like, I don't think that one of these loses, right?
yeah,
Both of
true,
these are
sure,
going to win,
yeah.
and they're going to win in very, very impressive ways. COVID has
Hmm.
shown that, the largest firms out there are growing at lightning speed. I don't think that this is, Amazon will take down Walmart or Walmart will take down Amazon. My point of view on it,
Hmm.
though, is that Walmart's going to have to try to acquire its way in, and that's a
Hmm.
lot harder thing to do. Amazon has built the creative, customer centric, development of products, the failure mentality of, betting on multiple ideas, testing those out, and building it into their platform in a way that inherently is going to allow them to far out compete anyone else out in the ecosystem. So my
But
bet's on Amazon.
But also to add on to that, Walmart has a lot of loyal customers too. So their
Totally.
ability to say like the people that go into their shops, if they were to like start putting up ads and saying like order on Walmart and get 10% off on your next order or something, and using those loyal customers to then start getting used to the online process, then they can start having that automation, that those subscribe and save orders where they're constantly ordering every month through their online app. And once they start adopting that and training their customers to use their online app and everything else, they could pick up some serious heat with that if they started really training their store customers to shop online on their platform.
Yeah,
So
I'll tell you the other area that Walmart has, a natural advantage, and we talk a lot about retail media right now, and
mhm.
it's all about search, right? But where Walmart has an advantage is that they have a whole in-store network, and that there are in-store advertising opportunities that Amazon does not have that inventory or capability to be able to be both on-site advertising as well as digital advertising. So as you look at that retail media kind of landscape, and it's going to get aggressive, and it's going to be dynamic, and it's going to be the thing that everyone's talking about for the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be real
Mhm.
pay to play formula of how brands and sellers can win across either platform. But Walmart
Yeah.
has a natural advantage of retail media not being so much more omni-channel in its ability to deliver impressions.
Yeah, I totally agree. And when it comes to Amazon, you're so right. When it comes to pay to play, that's just how it's becoming that. It's going to be less organic. It's becoming more sponsored video. It's like you're just constantly paying to get customers to see your product. Is
Totally.
how competitive it is, and that's why Walmart's such a great a great advantage right now. Is because there's a lot less sponsored, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So good. The good thing is you can, if you're organically ranked, you don't have to pay very much. Just stay up
Yeah.
there. And if you're a newcomer, that might be a little bit of an issue for you. But for now, if you were to come on Walmart, since it's so less competitive and you rank organically, you're going to be in a really good spot. Like once or Walmart starts picking up traction, you're going to be in a very good spot for a while in that organic placement, rather than Amazon.
So, Victor, let me show you another
Mhm.
detail here that speaks to exactly to that. We did a brand report card um, for uh, for Arm and Hammer, right? And Arm and
Mhm.
Hammer is one of the most dynamic brands out there. They span personal care with deodorant.
Mhm.
They span pet with cat litter. They span grocery with baking soda. They span personal care with toothpaste and laundry detergent. So they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
looking at their effectiveness across these different areas, you can see that we did a campaign performance looking at the keyword terms that they were sponsoring for sponsored products on Amazon and Walmart. And they're growing their sales rank 8% on a 30-day time period. Whereas with Amazon, they have fallen 5% because it's so much more aggressive on the Amazon platform for paid and organic keyword terms. So I think it speaks
Yeah.
exactly to your point of, what, Amazon is the engine that produces so much. But as you look at a little bit of growth, Walmart is a natural way to be able to diversify and capture some of those smarts that so many of your audience have in the way to manipulate organic range and pull levers in a dynamic way that once again is very, very um, available for the taking on the Amazon, on the Walmart ecosystem.
Yeah, and you're so right. Especially when it comes to like if a new Amazon seller came to me and just like they expect to like list their product on Amazon and get hundreds of $1,000s in sales. And as we know, Amazon is so competitive that just doesn't happen. It's too competitive. You can't just list something and expect it to grow. But on Walmart, you have a chance, a very good chance, depending on what category you're in, to actually list your product and have good results due to that lack of competition. So if you're a new seller, it's important to be omni-channel and also get on all these different platforms, because you would have a decent chance on ranking on these platforms rather than you would on Amazon. You're going to have a much better chance at doing all those type of
So
things.
it's just dawning on me right now. We went on that Easter and we were looking at, the number of items. It was this 5X scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to call it the 5X scenario here because look, broad
Mm-hmm.
match keyword terms for laundry detergent. We're looking at all of the keyword terms that have laundry detergent in them.
Yeah.
And so that, clearly Arm & Hammer is bidding on those terms and they get a 5X better performance on Walmart than they are currently getting on Amazon. And almost similar. This is a 4X, on the broad
Mm-hmm.
match keyword term of baking soda. You look at their own branded keyword terms of Arm & Hammer, and there's many that, on the broad match level with the long tail amount that can include Arm & Hammer in the keyword, and you can see the different performance levels for their paid search, as well as up here for the organic. So there's a lot of power of being able to, understand the similarities between Amazon and Walmart, but also the differences in what you could expect and learning how to diversify, your engagement there so that you can drive the most, incremental lift possible within your efforts.
What I find that's amazing is like they're only on their broad match search term on Amazon, they only have 30%, 36% share of voice on their own search term, on a broad match search term. And I find that
Fascinating,
amazing.
huh? It's
Yeah,
crazy competitive.
crazy.
And I think both Walmart and Amazon are like they try to make good intentions on the exact match of Arm & Hammer, like, hey, we're going to protect you as much as possible. But then you get
Mhm.
into the broad match of it, it's like, oh wow, we're going to make you pay out of the nose to try to protect your own keyword terms. And then you have companies like Kleenex and Chapstick and others that
Oh yeah.
Band-Aid, that their brands are ubiquitous with the category. And so
True.
how do they then go out and protect those branded keyword terms? It's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be really interesting to see how brands and others decide to approach it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. And it's if you're an established brand, it's important. If you're a new seller and you're an established brand, it's almost important to go on Walmart, because as you can see, Arm & Hammer is killing it on their broad match search term. And even like on their broad match keyword, they're almost getting almost an 8% more share of voice on there. So it's pretty important to always, like, even if you're an established seller or a new seller, to be on Walmart, because you can gain that share of voice and gain those sales in the long term on it for sure.
Let me show you one more on this. This is something that
Mhm.
I'm going to have to quickly go and find. We did the same analysis for Uno, right?
Really?
And it's fascinating. Uno's having its 50th anniversary as we speak, and it was
Wow.
such a cool game. I'm a massive, game player, and Uno's
Uh-huh.
one of the standards that every family grows up with. But what
Yeah.
I was fascinated to see, let me try to bring this up just a little bit more, is that on Amazon you have a lot of these kind of digitally native brands like What Do You Meme that are coming
Hmm.
in, and Exploding Kittens that they were born in the e-commerce digital universe, and
Yeah.
they totally understand how to leverage Uno in ways that Uno doesn't necessarily know how to do yet, because Uno's still thinking in massive corporate speak when they do a PR thing of like, okay, what does this do from our earned media? And what the meme and Exploding Kittens are like, oh wow, they're going to go spend all that money on a PR campaign. I should go bid on their keyword terms, and I should go bid on their broad match keywords, so that I can, as you can see here, the total fell on the paid search front for Uno with this massive PR campaign on Amazon.
Wow.
Walmart, it's a little less competitive, and so I think that will change as the marketplace opens up and as more sellers start to understand the opportunity that Walmart represents.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to innovate. Like when it comes to Uno, like if they were to like say like let's say if they created a Uno with exploding cats on it, just for an example, and then you went after that particular search term, you know how much they're making on it, they could really dominate all these different card games. Like they could really have a chance. Like let's put a meme on every single card, and then like and it's Uno just like that, and
Right.
then you could dominate where's my meme card game, and you could take a very reasonable amount of their sales and have a successful campaign. But like you have to understand the consumer mindset and say, okay, if you're trying to go after like where's my meme on an Uno game, Uno is a very like I guess low like I'll say boring. I guess I don't know what else. Like I guess standard. Let's say standard as a much more standard game than Where's My Meme, and they're looking for fun stuff. And if Uno was to innovate their products and make a meme Uno, then you could have a really good chance on
Totally.
dominating that key term,
And,
but
and, and
not the way
Uno
it is
has a
now.
history of doing that, right? They've launched a version of theirs with, different icons and different,
Yeah,
things of that nature that they have the product development chops to do that. I
yeah,
just think that they've got to get more of a data-driven personality of being able
hmm
to understand what the e-commerce landscape looks like and who are those competitors and what are they doing in organic keywords and what are they doing in promotions and how do I gain that bestseller badge and what does out of stock mean to search and these are things that like Mattel, it's a brilliant company. It's not like these are going over their head. They have ridiculously smart people, but it's getting the whole organization to talk about if we're going to do a PR campaign, one of the primary points that we should be talking about is how do we protect our branded organic keyword terms? How do we protect our branded paid keyword terms? Like that has got to be part of PR 101 for
hmm
everything that a massive manufacturer is doing because smart companies, digitally native brands, aggressive 3P sellers, they see the opportunity that they're spending money and I'm going to go and piggyback on the ride.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. And they obviously, no, you're so right. They really need to upgrade their paid performance. And like, if they were continue to innovate and also go for that paid share of voice in a better way, in a more efficient way, they could really, if they had a little bit more strategy behind their results, their planning, they could really take off and be successful. But obviously, as the data shows right here, the data does not lie that they are not doing too hot on their strategy right now.
Right. But here's the thing is like anyone at Mattel is going to be saying, well, no, listen, we are growing. And I will say this,
Mhm.
all boats are growing, are rising in the e-commerce ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Everyone's growing. So if
Yeah.
your threshold of success is growth, then you're going to miss the opportunity completely. It's all about superior growth in organic search, superior growth in paid performance, superior growth in sales, and understanding the category, the keywords, and the competitors is paramount to being able to measure whether or not you're getting a superior return for what you spend. So
Yeah.
that's the point. Is like you've got it's not just about growth; it's about superior growth.
Yeah, and you're so right. Everything is growing. Like in e-commerce, everything is growing. It's about how much can you capture off of that growth. That's the game right now. That's the game that everyone's trying to chase. Like we all know that COVID made it where Amazon grew by what 40%, whatever it was, and we're all trying to capture that growth, and so that way all our companies can do really really well in e-commerce. You're so
So let me
right.
give you a perspective, having grown up in Walmart brick and mortar to begin with.
Yeah.
So back in those days, we would take them to Action Alley and you'd negotiate, and for all intents and purposes, they always wanted to take the relationships and the personalities out of it. But
hmm
personalities and relationships were always critical to whether or not a manufacturer could get more end cap space or negotiate for more positioning anywhere and everywhere. And so relationships have always been fundamental to the brick and mortar universe.
Yeah.
Well, when Amazon's come along, they've taken the relationship out of it. The vendor manager does not determine assortment. It's an algorithm. The vendor manager does not determine price. It's an algorithm. The vendor manager does not determine promotions. It's an algorithm. Like, yes, the vendor manager has a role, but Amazon stated that they are seeking to make it more process oriented than human capital driven. And so if you can't influence Amazon through a relationship, the only way you can't shake hands with that relationship, the only way you're going to influence it is through data. Data is the determination of who's going to win and who's going to learn, who can harness it the best, who can make sense out of noise, who can formulate it in a way that drives action, who can provide the dashboards and the KPIs and criteria that will alert you when certain variables or criteria fall out of certain standards, so that you can go and make the most real-time decisions possible in that ecosystem.
Yeah, data-driven decisions are the only way to do it. Like you have to analyze the data of what your competitors are doing. I see a lot of Amazon sellers that are just not analyzing what their competitors are doing when it comes to search, when it comes to organic, and how, like, what are they doing with their titles? What are they doing with their bullet points? And it's so critical to look at what your competitors are doing and make data-driven decisions on everything that you do. And it makes it where your everything will perform better, because you can skip a lot of testing in the process. You can see what they tested and what worked the best, and you can see fully optimized titles. They're fully optimized bullet points, which will save you months of testing and time and money. So making those data-driven decisions are so vital to everything. I totally agree.
Well, in that vein, Victor, we actually are excited to be the first kind of enterprise data platform to be providing a free analytics service on our website. So analyticindex.com, we are just now launching on, and you are the first to be able to get a sneak peek of this, is the ability of capturing some of those, fundamental insights across the brand. And so as you're seeing here on our website, users can come on here and they can quickly type in a brand. Is there a brand that you absolutely love, Victor?
Well, let's go with Anchor.
Anchor
is a really great,
awesome.
Great example of what to do on Amazon.
So as we're coming down here, we're going to look for Anchor, and well, not Amigo blankets. I'm sure that you also love Amigo blankets. That sounds like an absolute awesome product.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll start here with Anchor on Walmart, and this will quickly provide a snapshot of Anchor's positioning on Walmart.com. And so it'll pull up for us the item information. They have 219 items. Their median price is $24. Their ratings are 4.4 with 150 reviews. And then we get into the search, and we're looking at the top 5 keyword terms for Anchor. And right now, Anchor seems like it's very driven around branded keyword terms. AICS is an advanced analytic that we have created that show your velocity against the peer set for that keyword term or for that category. So it's really a momentum score to start to show you if you're growing faster than your competitors in search or faster than your competitors in sales. This is also looking at the number of items that they are sponsoring, and so Anchor, smart enough, is not doing a ton of sponsored products in its own branded keyword terms, minus Anchor Charger. The total number of items they have in each one of these keyword terms, and then their average search rank for the total number of keyword terms that the total number of items they have in that keyword term. So anyway, any initial reactions of what you're seeing at the start of search for Anchor? Anything that you would have expected to see versus not expected to see?
This is a highly debated topic when it comes to advertising on your search terms, on your own branded search terms. And I hear a lot of different things when it comes to Amazon. I hear it like, is it smart? Like, because it's important to play defense and to also make sure that competitors are not stealing your thunder, stealing your sponsored positioning, because other competitors can go in and start competing on your search terms. And it goes both ways. And it's also could be a waste of money at the same time. So it goes both ways on that. And I was fascinated that Anchor did not have it. And it's great that I have a competitor analysis tool to see, are they going after? And maybe in this category, maybe that's where I make that data-driven decision. I see, okay, the data shows that Anchor is not doing this. So maybe I don't need to. Or that also shows me that I can and go after their competitive search terms, go after those branded search terms, and test whether I can go after their branded search terms and get some good conversions on those. So it's really great to have this data in the first place using this tool and to really see how it performs.
Yeah, and so, like I said, this is a free tool that is available for anyone to come in here. You can toggle across Walmart or Amazon and get this initial information, the item and ratings and review kind of insights, that digital shelf view. You get an initial snapshot of search in terms of the top keyword terms and the top products that they have within search. And then we come down here to more of the sales rank performance, and you can start to see what categories on Walmart it is performing in, how many best sellers they have within that category, and then their top selling products in that kind of universe. So it's a little bit of a taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
should help a lot of brands get initial scoping for the different criteria between Amazon and Walmart. Just for fun, well, bear with me. We've got to go take a look at Amigo Blanket. I mean, you can't say Amigo Blanket and not.
Let's do it.
Come on. Hopefully this thing has something for us to see. Nothing like a real-time demo to see whether looks like we're gonna fail out. Probably doesn't have enough information to truly tell us. So let's try it on
Amazon.
On Amazon. Amazon's got a much larger. Here we go. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Oh man. Of course, it comes up with Amigo Blanket, and then we don't have any data points here. So anyway, real time, we do have a little bit of information on sales. It looks like it is a pet supply, and their top department is it's horse blankets.
Wow.
So I know that you're in the market for a horse.
Yeah.
So you've got it down on your ranch in Dallas. You know where to go buy your Amigo blanket.
Yeah, I am from Texas, so I guess I gotta get a horse soon. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Victor, I'd love to maybe show a little bit more of our platform, how we can dive in and even dive deeper into Anchor. So I've pulled Anchor up on our platform, and ours allows you to look at search performance, sales performance, as well as brand performance. And I started off with the brand, so you can see that kind of generic view of Anchor on Amazon.com over the last 30 days. And so it will identify for us the number of keyword terms, the number they are sponsoring. So they're close to almost 50% of the keyword terms that they index for organically, they're also sponsoring. Big aha, right? Like, wow, that's having some guts to go put your money where your mouth is as they bid on these.
And that can also
identify. Go ahead, Victor. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the best. You can identify like how large, how much at scale those certain keywords are. And honestly, what you could do is you could see what keywords are they ranking for, but not sponsoring for. So you could see and that could be a great way to identify those particular keywords and start going after them, because that they're not pushing toward that yet. And you can get that, you can go for those sponsored keywords at a much less cost since they're not going for them. So it'd be a great advantage to know that type of data.
I was thinking the same way as you. I see a lot of charger keyword terms. So I came to another report of search. This was the Walmart view, but let me go to the search. I did a quick search on all of the keyword terms that contain charger, and help me understand who's winning organic, who's winning paid, who's winning above the fold. And so look, there's over 7,800 unique items that have charger that compete against charger keyword terms, right? Their average price point is at $33.87. Their median price point is $18.99. But you can see Anchor is in first position at 2.1% of the organic share of voice. But there are a lot of brands out there competing. And you know, charger is a generic term. We could be looking at, you know, phone charger. We could look at power tools. We could be looking at toy chargers. There's lots of different angles that Anchor may or may not be playing for in this broad matched keyword term. But it's an initial view that starts to help you understand. The other thing that I thought was fascinating, Victor, is look at who the number one paid player is. Amazon Basic.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
I mean, Amazon understands the power of search as well, right? And
True.
paying for it. And, you know, whether or not they're paying for it is a debatable topic, but they clearly understand the way to manually manipulate their position to address the opportunities across this charger landscape.
Yes, yeah. We all know that Amazon is going to see what other products are making, and they're just going to replicate those products, unfortunately, and also make it where they're in top position one, which is very fortunate, but it's the reality of the landscape. And also why, like, it's another conversation of why Walmart might be a great place, because you know that Amazon Basics is going to always be first, and there's almost nothing you can do about it, essentially. And that's where Walmart doesn't necessarily do that. And when it comes to it, so you might have a better chance on gaining some more momentum on Walmart if Amazon's going to keep undercutting you on everything else, especially on search.
Last one I wanted to show you here. This was looking specifically at iPhone charger, right? And I wanted to show a search campaign performance for Anchor over the last 30 days on Amazon. So this is an area that they spend. You can see that, you know, Amazon Basics is the number one participant, you know, bidder and winner of sponsored products, but Anchor is right there next to them at 5.71% of all paid search. So what is that paid search doing for their business? Well, over the last 30 days, those keyword terms that they are bidding on, their products have seen a 3% increase in sales rank. And sales rank is the best proxy that you have in terms of actual sales performance. And then it's driven a 5.6% increase in organic rank in terms of their search rank performance. And so we can actually dive into this. Looks like a whole bunch of spaghetti, but we can start to see, you know, in this one right here, they've taken a nosedive. And so for Darren Apple MiFi Lightning cable iPhone charger cable for iPhone 11 Pro Max, it's a massively long keyword term. They've taken a dive on the organic search rank, right? But where are they growing? Well, this one right next to it. Well, it's going to be a little bit harder of getting that. Let's see if I can get right here. The iPhone charger cable 3-foot. Look at how they have improved their organic search rank, going from 30 days ago, an average of 22, all the way up to 14. That translates into sales, right? So that's an area that they should continue to invest in. These other areas where we're seeing this nosedive of starting off hot, climbing aggressive, and then diving down lower, iPhone charger stand, that's an area that, you know, they've got to dive into to understand what went wrong. Why did we also lose all of that momentum? Did someone else come in and start competing on that keyword term? And that's where we can actually dive into the data to understand that. Is it because of you know, an inventory issue? Was it because of a pricing issue? There's lots to be able to discern, and then to be able to make better decisions because of the data.
Yeah, it's so important to interpret the data. And like what a lot of Amazon sellers do, if they see a dip in sales or something, they go, what happened next? And they don't have a report like this to see, like, oh, we lost search rank on this particular keyword, which dropped our sales by $1,000 or anything else. And it's super important to have that data easily accessible and easily interpret, because you could have thousands of data points, but it makes it where it's not easy to interpret. It's not intuitive to understand. But using this chart, you can intuitively understand that, okay, these are the keywords and how we're ranking for each particular keyword, and you'll be able to decipher and see which ones are falling and which ones are increasing, and which one is responsible for the most increase in sales, and
Totally.
that could
Here's
make a
sales right
big
here.
difference. Oh, sales, yeah,
Once again,
perfect.
a
Uh-huh.
spaghetti mess, and we don't. You can see that we're only a full 10 weeks into our launch, but we're making improvements day in, day out, bringing in new data sources, more actionable reports. Right now, this one should have a key on it so that we could see which ones these were, but we can see that this one is starting to pick up a lot more momentum in the camera and photo space. So
Mhm.
it dips and it's coming back up. But yeah, this sales analysis will also start to help you make better capital decisions on, okay, what's really driving growth? Let's do more there. Let's do less here. Let's bet on the winners, right? And that's the full way that data helps improve, performance, because then it's that flywheel of, increased, revenue, which we can invest more into the growth of products and the paid search, the promotions that support those. So it's a pretty exciting place to be able to leverage that data to help make, people a lot more money.
Yeah, you're in a really good space because, as we know, like Amazon Seller Central is the worst user interface to ever exist on the face of the earth. Like, I've been told that they purposely made it bad. Like, grabbing data, you have to go in like 17 different spots to get in order to grab that data, and it just makes with a horrible user experience for it. So it's really nice to have the ability to be able to grab and have all that data in one location and have it like easily accessible and understand it. So like you can grab all that data, put it in a report, an Excel sheet, but it's not gonna like you're gonna just see a bunch of numbers. You're gonna go number blind. You're gonna go data blind when it comes to all that, and it's not gonna be easily understandable. So it's
Totally.
super important to have these charts, to have all these type of graphs, because that is how our brains work, and that's how we interpret data more efficiently. So it's super important to understand that when you're taking in all this data and trying to interpret it.
Well, in our ambition, like I said at the start of the call, comprehensive, actionable, affordable. We still have a long ways to go in the actionability front. We are light years ahead of anyone else, I believe, but we have so much exciting opportunities to drive more actionable insights day in, day out with, some really cool capabilities that span, Walmart, Amazon, everyone else, but also combine them in some pretty dynamic ways. I have to shout it out like I am so fortunate to be a part of a team that is so smart. Mike Carlsvan is my co-founder, and he's the smartest man I know in e-commerce, technology. He, as it relates to business intelligence, he has built 3 generations of this now, starting with OneClick, then with Edge by Essential, and now Analytic Index. And he knows how to build that scalable platform. And having brought in Scott and Jonathan and Matt, that's soon to join us, Ohostro, these guys are really, really ambitious, passionate, and hardworking to be able to deliver more and more insights than have ever been imagined. And so we're committed to our customers and our partners to be able to help them grow superior, right? Superior growth is the mantra, and this data
Mhm.
is going to be at the bedrock of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it. And it's super important to track that growth progress and really understand those key performance, like those KPIs that are really critical to Amazon and everything else. I'm just curious, what do you feel is in Walmart or Amazon or e-commerce in general, what do you see as the most important KPIs that Amazon sellers should be tracking right now?
Yeah, I think that first of all, understanding what products, I've got a great friend that always talked about love your ASINs, right? Like knowing your ASINs in and out is critical. And I don't think there's any individual KPI that is the silver bullet that's going to let you, outperform anyone else. It is definitely a dashboard of understanding when you pull this, that happens, and understanding then the the multivariate analysis that you can make off of that. So I think that it's very much an opportunity in understanding lots of different KPIs, but clearly understanding in my world, I love understanding share of voice, understanding organic share of voice primarily, but then how paid share of voice influences your performance. Sales
Mhm.
and sales rank. I mean, Amazon has been very, very transparent with their bestseller rank, but Walmart less so. We've cracked that code and continue to provide some of the most trend forward capabilities of measuring sales performance across items is really important. So I would say know your ASIN, know your item, and then very much be very tethered to understanding your organic share of voice, your paid share of voice, understanding broad match, exact match, and branded um, components of search is really at the heart of what I think is so exciting for the future of Amazon, Walmart, and e-commerce in general.
Yeah,
A long-winded
that's
answer on a very direct question of which one.
yeah. No, that's great. That's a great conversation there. Real fast, if someone was to try to use this new competitor tool that you have, what would they have to do in order to really just go into the platform and start exploring it for
Just log
themselves?
into the website. We made a decision. We don't even require, we've got this contact us form here. We would love to talk to the smartest people in e-commerce out there and continue to build those relationships, but it's not a requirement. You simply log in, put in the brand that you want to look at, choose whether it's Amazon or Walmart, and extract that data. Hopefully, it becomes a little bit, a few, meaningful sips of data that encourages you to then reach out, and hopefully we can show you more through a lot of our other research tools and different package levels that will help anyone and everyone achieve those data determined decisions that we've talked about.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. I think that's going to be a really really big important for a lot of sellers, especially when it comes to just getting used to kind of dipping their toe in the water of what your tool can do. I think that's a really great instance when it comes to seeing what the platform be like and just kind of giving you a service level understanding of what metrics you might be able to provide. And I think that's
Yeah.
really great. I
Yeah, I
really
mean, it's
do.
our ambition to be able to be very transparent and forward with data. Like, we don't want it
Mhm.
behind necessarily always paywalls. Like, we're going to put our pricing on our platform so people can see it. Like, we want to be very transparent, very simple, very actionable in helping our partners grow and achieve greatness. So that's a huge shout out to the rest of our team of Tim and Mike, who are doing, Herculean things to help us, achieve that level of transparency and directness with our partners.
Yeah, it's so important. Transparency is really important, especially when it comes to you're working with a lot of data. So like that's like the definition of transparency is like you're showing the data of what it is, and data does not lie. You can't argue with the data. It's there, and there's nothing after that. It doesn't lie with it. Is there anything else that you were a report you were wanting to bring up, or any other analysis or analyses that you wanted to bring up before we wrap it up?
No, I don't have anything top of mind. This has been an incredibly exciting conversation. I mean, tremendous respect to you for being such a thought leader in the e-commerce space, and it's been a pleasure to get to know you. And I can't wait to have more conversations. I know that you are, you're into hiking, so we got to get you out here to Salt Lake City, where we're based, because we have some of the best mountains in the universe and some of the coolest national parks down south. So let's
Yeah.
make that happen and go on a couple of
Mhm.
hikes together.
Yeah, definitely. I've been to Salt Lake City. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. I've hiked at least 2 or 3 times in Salt Lake City. It's amazing place. And it we in Texas, all we got is hills. Very small hills. They're usually like a couple feet high. It's like a little dirt mound. That's all we got. It's flat. Texas is 100% flat. And when I went out to Salt Lake City, it was a whole different atmosphere that I was very not used to.
Well, I got to get back out to Dallas. I still remember I love food, and I had some pretty
Uh-huh.
amazing food there in Dallas. And so a breakfast there with some eggs Benedict still
Ooh.
haunts my dreams. So we're gonna make this happen. You come out and hike, and I'll come out and eat, and we'll have a great time.
There's nothing better than Texas barbecue. There's a barbecue
Oh, I
place
can't
every
wait!
every mile of Texas. So
Can't
that's
wait.
great. That's so
Well,
good.
so great to be with you today. Please let me know if there's anything we can do to help you or your audience out. We are excited to be a part of this growth of e-commerce business intelligence, and just want to be very meaningful in how we can help drive superior growth.
Yeah, that's so great. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this added tremendous value for you.